It's been like 2 weeks. It's just progressively gotten worse. If that makes sense. Yo, I accidentally locked myself out the computer. Boom. Ooh, we got a lot to talk about today. Oh, wow, out of it. Well, the New York Knicks win.
Knicks Day.
So do the Warriors. We got the Miami Heat. Ooh, honestly, the Miami Heat, let's be honest, probably going to beat the Knicks. They almost beat the Knicks without Jimmy Butler.
What's up, Chris? What's up, Chris?
What up, baby? But no, I definitely think this is going to be definitely an interesting. Tonight we have ourselves Denver, correct?
Not till, what is it, Friday? Tonight is Sixers Celtics game 2. There's the Indian.
Let's go Indians. Or Guardians, my bad.
Ooh.
Wait, what game is it tonight?
Celtics Sixers game 2. In the Garden. Harden in the Garden game 2 tonight.
Joel Embiid won MVP.
Yes, he did.
It just feels so anticlimactic. Like, I don't care.
Clearly, the NBA voters listened to me talk about Joel Embiid all season, especially when they played each other. What was it, on Christmas Day? And it was clear who's better, Joel Embiid.
No, it wasn't. I mean, Joel pussied out. Everyone said that
Joel didn't pussy out. This is a guy who played like 13 straight games with over, what was it? He had 30 points, 13 straight games. Cool. Philadelphia, they needed him. Joel Embiid is the MVP. I get it. Right now, he's banged up, so clearly, and they just won without him, so it makes him look bad. But it's just game 1.
Joel Embiid just babied and cried his way into an MVP. Okay, he pulled the Marcus Smart. I've never seen someone blatantly go around the NBA and be like, "Oh, it's not fair, this and that all these other people are getting attention," and like cultivate. I feel like Joel Embiid instigated this whole MVP.
He's right.
No,
Nikola Jokic won the MVP last season as the 6th seed. Jokic would have been better MVP.
I'm sorry that Jokic for the past 3 seasons has had 3 of the 10 greatest offensive seasons statistically of all time. I'm not saying it's just like they're to this day right now. The past 3 seasons, there's been no one who is more of a positive win impacting player as Nikola Jokic.
Because how far have they gotten in the playoffs with him?
Western Conference Finals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, but how far?
Best in NBA history. I'm pretty sure Giannis.
You're fucking retarded. Does the award account for playoffs? No, it's a regular season award. So why does the playoffs
so
matter?
last year, if he's such a great winner, why were they the 6th seed?
Because
they had that quick of a turnaround in their season.
Michael Porter Jr. only played 4 games. Jamal Murray. I think the Nuggets suffered the most injuries in the entire league last year.
So it was the same Jamal Murray who just went 0-9 from downtown, and the same MPJ who just had 7 points in game 2, right?
Yeah. I'm just letting you know. I feel like your logic is terrible right now, because the fact is Jokic clearly won the last 2 awards. If anything, if there was anyone who wasn't Jokic this year, it was Giannis.
Giannis should have won last year.
No, I don't think Giannis should have won last year. If there was last year, what was it? Luka, I know Joel was right out there, but there was a third. It wasn't even Giannis. Who was the third last year? It wasn't Tatum.
It wasn't LeBron.
It wasn't LeBron. It was someone random. As you see, you finished in third. 22.
Embiid, the Embiid disrespect is so annoying. I just don't.
I go to
never
KU.
understand.
It's just Embiid is a wannabe crybaby.
Oh, okay.
Are the Sixers better without Embiid? I think they're better with Paul Reed. I think it's a better team. Allows Harden to be Harden.
Can we agree though? If they, let's say, Embiid like comes back and let's say the Sixers win 2 games without Embiid, all right, and Embiid comes back and they lose this series. And like you said, the only 2 games they win, it's like without Embiid. Would that just be like, what's the point then?
Oh, he got his MVP. That's cool. The NBA stops. I think like the NBA will stop caring about the MVP award in a couple of years, especially with load management.
Who's
gonna play?
Jimmy Butler has made the regular season completely irrelevant. I think you see like every day that people are saying the regular season's worthless. To go off what Jackson was saying, I mean, Jokic. The other thing is the reason why he didn't win a third MVP is if he won a third MVP, he would have only been the second player in NBA or third player. I know Larry Bird, there might be one other player who did it. It might be Wilt. But I think it just comes down to no one gives a fuck about the regular season, but you can't make the regular season shorter. So
I would be okay if they did it, but they won't do it.
They would never money thing. It's like asking baseball to take less games.
Yeah.
Maybe they just use like AIs. We're moving with AI in the future. Maybe they just have like AI teams play some of the last 15 games of the season for the fans.
Just put it in a 2K.
Yeah.
Let's just have 2K figure it out.
Just sim the games.
Yeah.
Whatever stats they get, I think it works.
Yeah, that's their stats.
Yeah.
I like it. Is Joel playing tonight, or is he officially out?
They haven't said anything. We probably will find out an hour after the show.
I love James Harden, and that's just James Harden's new role. He doesn't need to drop 45 on the Philadelphia 76ers with Joel, the MVP, and Tobias Harris and Tyrese Maxey and their new bench. But if Joel doesn't play, I'd love to see Harden try and get to 50 tonight because they're going to need it. Celtics won't turn the ball over 16 times tonight. I promise you that one.
Is that a promise?
It is a promise.
Like that could okay.
Yeah.
I just feel like the 2 teams that I want to see lose, and I'm sorry, or maybe it's because I find their fan bases sometimes overbearing. The Philadelphia 76ers and the New York Knicks. Nothing gives me more joy if I just don't have to see either of those teams in the playoffs. They're just annoying because what's the worst part? It's almost as bad. I don't know which is worse: Golden State Warriors bandwagons or Knicks or Sixers fans. Because when the Knicks or Sixers are in the playoffs, for some reason everyone becomes a Knicks or a Sixers fan. Like a person you didn't even know liked basketball is now a Knicks fan. And it's just annoying because let's be honest, the Knicks they're not a poverty franchise, but like in the sense the Knicks are kind of the New York Jets.
Take away the Yankees out of New York and New York sports, and the Giants.
And the
Giants
Rangers haven't won a fucking championship in 82 years, Jackson. 82
That's
years.
Embarrassing.
Yes.
They just got embarrassed by the Devils.
Yeah, that's the.
So New York So you heard it here first from Nick. New York sports are fake.
I mean, you could say the same thing about Chicago sports with the Bears. Take out MJ.
Yeah.
If you just take out MJ, the Chicago sports history is not
what
that
about
great.
what do you mean?
The last 50 years.
The Blackhawks. You guys won 3 and 4 years.
Yeah, the Hawks. Yeah.
Chicago Fire. Shut the fuck up.
We were so bad. When we were all born, they were like, weren't they paying people to go to?
In
Hawks
the past
games?
30 years,
They weren't even on TV yet. The Hawks weren't even on TV when we were born.
The Hawks were the worst franchise in sports. Like
you guys realize
in 2003.
Do you guys realize how little money the NHL makes in comparison to like the NBA and NFL?
That sucks, man. Shout out the Florida Panthers. Playoff hockey is awesome. Anybody can watch playoff hockey and have a good time. If you like sports, just
You're
throw on
making
any
more
playoff
than
hockey.
WNBA players, but like, you know, like
They don't need the money, man. They're it's just a.
it's not a hard decision
Love the
if you're a hockey player in the winter, a football player in the fall, and like a soccer player in the spring. It's not a very hard decision on which career path you're going to try first. Because I think like what a max salary is like $10 million a year. I think
Most
like
people
15.
don't play sports for the money though, so I don't think.
Play for the love.
I don't think Alex Ovechkin really. I don't think Patty Kane's all too concerned.
I think you're 100% wrong there. There is so.
I think basketball's the only sport where you would get somebody to play it for money.
No, I think
Just
that's
because of
like
their
one of the biggest
prowess.
things in football is there's so many guys there who hate football. Like it's most sports. I think you'll hear this on every show that's hosted by a former pro athlete. They're like, people don't realize most of these sports that people play, probably half or at least almost 2/3 don't like the sport. They play because it's a job. Like they're just athletic. It's a job. It pays the dues. Like Anthony Edwards said on draft night, I'd rather play football. Just basketball pays more. All right. And there's other guys who say the same thing in football that they like. Yeah, Calvin Johnson has said he would trade his Hall of Fame football career to be an average baseball MLB player because he likes baseball better. He literally says he literally says like he actually hates football. Like he doesn't even coach football or like have any ties. He actually coaches baseball and like he spends all his time coaching baseball because he never had passion for football.
Yeah.
Well, he's definitely an outlier. He didn't really need to have much passion.
But that's like people don't realize it's like at least half of your favorite athletes don't even like that sport. They're just world-class athletes.
I think a lot of the world-class athletes love the game, and if they currently don't, they're probably like LeBron James, Aaron Rodgers.
You fall in love, I bet. I think it's more like you love competing. You love competing. Maybe it's not the actual game, but you love the act of competing, and that's why you're good at it. I think that's
like them as a kid.
I mean, you got
to they lost their twinkle, they lost their childlike wonder in their sports because it became a job.
Nick, what are you gonna say?
Yes, that's exactly like there's a golfer who just put out that yesterday. His name is Max Homa, and he talked about how he used to love the sport as a kid, but now because it's became a job and because like the joy he likes doing it because he's really good at it and he's good at competing and he likes like being really good at something. And a lot of these guys like competing, like the Jimmy Butlers. Does Jimmy Butler actually like basketball? Yeah, sure. He likes basketball. But do you think he's probably gotten to the point in his NBA career where he doesn't care about the regular seasons, he just cares about the playoffs. And like a lot of these guys, they get sick of it. You do the same thing over and over for years,
decades, even if you're James.
You got like guys out there who when you make for example, Luol Deng, he retired at 30, 34. You think Luol Deng at the end was still in love with the game, or he got enough money that he was cool, you know what I mean, walking away? It probably became a job, you know what I mean? I'm not saying that's the case, but he was the first guy who came to mind. There's certain guys who make their bread. And as soon as they have one bad year or something, they're just I'm done. I made my bag. I'll just retire. They're you know what I mean? They're cool with it. There's guys who retire out there 34 and they never attempt to come back again. They made their bag.
I think people also change in the course of if I'm an 18-year-old prodigy getting drafted, I think by the time I'm not Luol Deng specifically, but by the time you're 34, I mean that's 16, 15 years. You're probably more of a family man and.
That's why LeBron's so impressive.
With your kids and
that's so that you have that competitive fire, for 21 years.
That's what sets it apart.
Brady,
Steph Curry, LeBron James, Tom Brady. It's always the best. The best. I mean,
it's also a sickness at the same time. It seems for Tom Brady. I fully believe Tom Brady's is coming back next year. He's gonna take. Oh my God, he's gonna take 1 year off and he's gonna be fuck this Booth shit. And he's gonna go to the Miami Dolphins or the Las Vegas Raiders.
He might kill it as an announcer, though. I don't know.
I don't know.
The way he ended, though. Yeah, you're right.
Dude,
Just food for thought.
I'm so happy they got rid of the Guardians and went back to the Indians.
I wish they did.
I wish that happened. Yeah. Fuck.
If they won a World Series.
Yeah, we ruined it.
If they won a World Series, would they not have became the Guardians?
Yeah, look at the
They'd
Chiefs.
still be the Indians?
Look at the Chiefs. Look at the
Or
Chiefs.
were they supposed to change?
I think Chief Wahoo was definitely not a great.
Chief Wahoo, they don't do it anymore, and they don't show
that was-
anything. Basically, the way I've learned in sports journalism is the reason why these name changes happen. Look at the teams that they changed their names. They were losing. You don't change your name when you're winning.
True.
Yeah.
And also the other thing is like I'm so stoked if the Washington Commanders change their name again.
They
But-
I don't,
No, the
think
commies.
that's gonna
Commies, man. We're the commies.
In an interview the other day with the new owners, they are in talks with the league
they
and
did.
rebranding for a second time due to the unsuccessful. I think what was the word? It was like the unsuccessful transition to Washington Commanders.
Yeah. It's like moving. It's like relocating teams. I just don't really get why. It's because like the 1% of the 1% who are upset. The 1% of people who are upset are going to be like extremely loud about it. And in the Commanders' case, it's tough. I miss the Redskins, and I only refer to them as the Redskins. And I always will.
And I only refer to them as Orientals too, because this is goddamn America. That's how you just sounded like.
I don't know. I really don't think too many people are getting upset that they were the Washington Redskins and of the people who.
No,
You can't say that
I,
word.
I'm pretty sure there was a study done where it was like, 3/4 or a majority of Native Americans that was polled by, it was either Reuter or something, didn't care or feel affected by the name, the Washington Redskins or something like that. In the middle of like when they were like getting rid of the name and like they were losing the sponsorship. Yeah, I remember it was like some, nonpartisan basically said, yeah, like actually most American or Native Americans don't actually like find the name offensive or like
1% of Native Americans.
Yeah, and I think they had gotten rid of the mascot already and everything like that. Like they said, like I think the only thing they had was just the logo. And yeah,
it's annoying because it's like a homage. Like what's the story of the Cleveland Indians? Wasn't the first ever Native American baseball player played for the Indians?
What are the Seminoles gonna do for Florida State?
Sell everybody, sell everything. But it's like a homage to the Native Americans, if anything. It's not, nobody's using it in a derogative way, which is why we'll always call them the Washington Redskins.
I
have to respect
Clippers
Sean
takes in the comments. Indeed, yes, the Clippers should have moved to. That was what I was saying. Get the Clippers out of Los Angeles. They don't belong there. They shouldn't have built another arena. Yeah, they don't belong in the league.
No, the Clippers should go back to San Diego, so it makes more sense. Because they originally were called the San Diego Clippers as a way, because Clippers is a type of sailboat.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Really?
Also,
Los Angeles Sailors. San Diego Sailors.
Did you guys know the Clippers logo is a condor? Like, not logo.
Is it really?
The mascot. The mascot's a condor. It's like Sam or Harry.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
sick.
a cool guy. I never thought he was a condor, though.
Is it Cam the condor? Sam the condor?
Chuck the condor.
All right. Let's talk about the Sixers versus
Why?
the Celtics. Because the Boston Celtics will win this.
The Lakers Warriors just played.
And the Knicks, Scott Foster had to fucking.
You know what? I kind of
his way to the Knicks win.
We're starting the show off with a preview of the most important, the best
Guys,
game of the entire season.
We started the show off with a 20-minute conversation about Native Americans and like A
What else
plethora
are
of.
we talking about?
Let me tell you, for 20 minutes, there was not a single thing about basketball except that people hate playing basketball that play basketball.
NNB doesn't deserve the MVP.
That was a big topic. And that was a heated point of contention. Okay, you know what? There should have been like
I have a
Norwegian.
stat actually with that.
We're done. We've moved on. Okay, because if not,
I
like
have
children will
Honest.
cry. All right, it'll be watching Chernobyl in live action. I also just want my throat to be fixed.
Let's talk some basketball.
Lakers Warriors. What do you think? Warriors literally went on a 14-0 run when I was driving home. Like they take off Jared Vanderbilt, and the Lakers decided, hey, we're just gonna let him go on a 14-0 freaking run. Like it's literally nothing, and almost choked this game away until our man LeBron James, D'Angelo Russell, will save the day. What are your thoughts?
Thank God for that, because they did save the day. Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis looks like a healthy Anthony Davis for the first time ever. Like this is as healthy as he can be, and I just love it. And I like the Lakers won. That's awesome.
The Lakers did win, and what was crazy is they wanted both teams played exactly how I said they would, and which was the Warriors, they shoot like 53 threes. All right, I told you the Warriors they're smaller, even though Kevon Looney's a dog and had 20-something rebounds. The Warriors were going to shoot as many threes as possible. They're going to try to take the Lakers and put them on the perimeter and try to space them out and expose them that way. I will shout out Andrew Wiggins for being the greatest offensive rebounding wing. He got first off, one of the final possessions where the Warriors were trying to tie the game up. They missed 3 goddamn threes in a row, and Andrew Wiggins grabbed 3 offensive rebounds to the point where I was getting so mad. All right, that Andrew Wiggins, the Lakers couldn't stop a rebound, but the Lakers won this because they played the complete opposite way. They scored 60-something points in the paint. They had 18 points only off of 3-pointers. They just kept going inside, and they played bigger. All right, they played bigger. I mean, shout out Dennis Schroeder, Anthony Davis, LeBron James, and D'Angelo Russell for being the 4 star players. What's your shots on this game, Jackson?
I finally found the statistic to back the Steph isn't good against LeBron take. So in the post KD era, the Golden State Warriors and Steph Curry are 7-8 versus LeBron James in the playoffs, and they're 44-18 against everybody else. So I don't understand the whole narrative about Steph versus LeBron as this crazy. I guess 7-8 does make it a little crazy, but I think people are, because it's the Warriors Lakers and that this might be the last time we see these two guys match up. I think the media is loving it. They're absolutely loving it. But yeah, Anthony Davis 23-10 in the first half. Then we kind of didn't see much of him as far as plays drawn up in the third quarter. But D'Angelo Russell said, F that. I'm going to do my thing. Scores 10 points. Austin Reeves, 2 huge threes in the third quarter. Troy Brown Jr. chipping in.
I don't mean to cut you off. Why does D'Angelo Russell, when he misses a shot, he misses it bad? He doesn't just miss a shot. He either makes a shot or he badly misses it.
He airballs it.
Yeah, dude, did you see that one airball? He didn't even airball at the front. He airballed it behind. He overshot it.
Should have got to shoot.
I don't know. Yeah, but how do you he overshot an airball?
Shooters gonna shoot, and shooters are gonna miss.
Took Wheaties. He ate his
Wheaties too much food. He ate too much food. Malik Beasley, how about that DNP? How about that?
Great DNP.
Jared Vanderbilt did a phenomenal job on Stephen Curry, and so did Dennis Schroeder. They did a great job.
In that run at the end of the game, you weren't scared at all that the Warriors were making comeback, especially with Steph making threes.
The Warriors played wrong for a lot of the game until the end of the third, I believe, where they pretty much Steph would have the ball. Steph wouldn't have the ball. Steph doesn't need much room to shoot. So, I don't know. It's just weird because Vandy was just sticking on him. But, yeah, Steph kind of starts to figure it out in the end of the game. He had like 10 in the first and didn't score till like the end of the third. The Lakers love to blow close games. So, I mean, I'm not really particularly rooting for anybody. So, I wasn't worried or scared. I liked the comeback. I liked Steph. I liked Jordan Poole in the third quarter. I mean, yeah, I just want to see a good game. So I'm not really rooting for like the Lakers or the Dubs. I think the Lakers win in 5.
Wow.
The Golden State Warriors shot. They made 21 threes.
And
they lost. I mean, it's just not
Jordan
good.
Poole taking that last shot.
Yeah, dude, that was terrible. Like,
I have a quick statistic: 94% of Jordan Poole shot attempts are heavily contested deep threes. Most in NBA history. This isn't a real statistic, but I agree with it. 94% of his shots.
Well, that shot, he was wide open, and he had enough time that he could have taken a step in.
Thank God for Jordan Poole, man. That was hilarious. Like, he had so much room.
And enough time.
Shot.
He also had enough time to keep the ball swinging a few more seconds. There was no shot clock. He took that with like 6 seconds to go, bro. First off, shout out the Lakers. I mean, Jared Vanderbilt is like Curry kryptonite because they took out Vanderbilt. They went on a 14-0 run. And then they put Vanderbilt in right before that possession. And I think it was Schroeder and Vanderbilt who shout out Darvin Ham for making the adjustment. But Darvin Ham, you could tell, told those guys they threw on Vanderbilt and Schroeder, and they were literally double team Curry, which Curry was then forced to throw it to Jordan Poole, who took, I think they said it was a 28-foot jump shot. He almost took a 30-foot freaking three. And that was just a bad shot. I'm pretty sure there was a guy open there was a guy in the corner that he could have swung it to, or he could have swung it across the key. I mean, again, these are all. I still think the Warriors can take 2 games. I mean, the Warriors are only four rebounds less than the Lakers. I think it was like 49 the Warriors had, and the Lakers had 53 rebounds. And I think the Warriors actually won the offensive rebound battle. I think the Warriors had 14 offensive rebounds. Lakers had 13. That's one. That's by one. I know, but for the 3-point shooting team, that's potentially an extra 3-point shot.
AD is going to dominate Kevon Looney like he did yesterday, but Kevon Looney is going to make him earn it. He's going to make him work for it. He's going to do everything in his I think he had 7 offensive rebounds. He's going to do everything in his power.
Kevon Looney had 23 rebounds.
Kevon Looney's averaging like 16 rebounds in the playoffs right now.
Kevon Looney's a top 10 center.
Kevon Looney is as reliable as they come. He doesn't miss basketball games. I think he had another season where he played all 82. But the Lakers are just so good. We talked about it. You got to be aggressive. Both teams are going to want to play in transition, but it's going to be hard to score in the half court. But from the Lakers standpoint, like Golden State didn't really play good defense. Golden State's not really good at defense this year. That's like their thorn. They're not a great defensive team anymore.
I think it spurts. During that 14-0 run, dude, they denied the ball to Davis. Like the Lakers couldn't even get the ball to Davis during that when the Lakers couldn't score. I think it's in spurts.
To Nandit's thing here, LeBron James is last in the playoffs in 3-point percentage. He's shooting 99 for 49 from downtown in the playoffs. He's first in 2-point percentage. Lakers are 5-2 with LeBron James 9 of 49 from downtown. LeBron will not shoot 9 of 49 for the rest of the series, and when he does, they already won. Golden State just shot 40% from the field. Steph Curry made 3.
Why is LeBron's jump shot broken? How did it break?
It's not going to last long. And the second that it doesn't last long,
no, but this has been a trend. Let's not ignore an obvious.
He's not a
trend.
good 3-point shooter.
No, but
he's not 9 of 49 bad.
No, but what if someone can pull up the stats? 3 years now, his free throw and his 3-point percentage have just kind of just started to tank. I don't even mean to be rude. They've just
he's never been a free throw or 3-point shooter.
Yeah, but he was respectable at least. He's starting to get to Draymond Green territory, it feels like.
Just take some dumb shots too from the three. Like,
oh yeah, horrendously done. Okay, yeah. Go
at the end of the
continue.
game, when he took that three, when he had more than enough time, just drive. Like, you've been driving all night and you could score. You've scored in the paint most of this game. There's no need for the three. You're the smartest player in
And
basketball.
then the following series, he had an open three, and then he drives. Literally, the following possession, you remember, he literally gets to the wing, and he literally looks to shoot three, and then he's like, nah, and then drives. And then I think he dumps it off to Davis. But yeah, no, LeBron the last 2 years, I believe it. Let me just get this. I know the last 2 years, his 3-point percentage has gone down. I know ironically, his field goal percentage has been like in the 50s still, but yeah, like 35.9. So it's 36.5, then 35.9, then 32. And then look at this. Since going to LA first year 66, second year 69, third year 69, and then actually the past 2 years 75 and 76. But it's just yeah, but it's just weird that, like, I don't know. I always felt like end of game, if LeBron was at the free throw line, it was a guaranteed make both of those. Now it's just like he'll make one.
I don't think that's actually ever been the case, and that's why he usually passes the ball to his closers. Like right now, it's Dennis Schroeder. Used to be Kyrie,
and Anthony
Dwayne
Davis.
Wade. Anthony Davis, stop taking threes. I know you only took 2 of them. Wasted possessions. Don't even take a three. Don't even look at it. Don't even try it. Because they'll let you do it any day. And 10 and D here, I would love if the Golden State Warriors win. In fact, I have the Golden State. My first prediction of the year is Golden State Warriors to the finals. So I'm not trying to like bandwagon the Lakers. I just think they're significantly the better team. They were the 13th rated Western Conference team after the All-Star break. Not the
Dude, I feel sorry.
They were the 13th ranked team.
The Steve Kerr though, he has to be pulling his hair out because he has no bench.
Jordan Poole did a great job last night, and he's going to get flack all day today for his final actually 2 shots. But if he made that shot, nobody.
Outside of Jordan Poole, like, I love Gary Payton II, but Gary Payton II is not the same Gary Payton II as of last year, impact-wise.
Well, the Lakers are going to let you. You saw it even with JaMychal Green. The Lakers, JaMychal Green's wide open he's never been he's a good 3-point shooter. JaMychal Green's a good 3-point shooter, and shout out Steve Kerr. We saw him a little bit yesterday. Same thing with Gary Payton, JaMychal Green, Draymond Green, Kayvon Looney, AD, whoever's guarding him. You can do whatever the hell you want. I'm gonna go back in the paint. You can make that shot, Gary. You can take that shot every night. It's like Russ. It's like guarding Russ. So I don't think Gary Payton. The Lakers bench I just think is better. And Golden State is not as big as the Lakers. And if they want to take down the Lakers, who have the highest probability to win the NBA Finals, according to betting, they're going to have to make their shots. And you're going to have to go small with guys like Jordan Poole, Gary Payton, and make your shots. So,
yeah, I agree. And, guys, did you guys want to talk about the Nuggets Suns, or are we kind of in agreement that might be either a sweep or a gentleman's sweep?
No CP3, so, yeah, it's a sweep.
It's a sweep, and is he officially going to be out for the rest of the series?
Just the next 2 games, I'm pretty sure. But
that's
3.
It's gonna be 3 out. So, like, I don't even think I was gonna make a video on it last night for my channel, and I watched the highlights, and it was kind of like a massacre. Like, the final score won't tell you that, but like, the Nuggets are so clearly in control of that series. It's just kind of sad to watch. Like,
but you never know. Like, KD, Devin Booker, top 15 player in the NBA.
They could take one game.
They could always do something. Like,
there's no bench, dude. I'm sorry. Like, the Suns are like, I know.
It's because Monty Williams doesn't know what the hell he's doing.
I know. And the thing is like, there's been moments where Jock Landale, like, and Bismack Biyombo have done. Like, there's been.
They both need to play more.
Yeah, I think they've done good jobs against Jokic. Jock had, like, there was one part, I think, in game 1 where Jock was a huge part of, like, making Jokic's life miserable, especially on offense, because I think Jock's probably faster than DeAndre, and
he out-hustles. He just plays harder. He works harder than DeAndre Ayton. The Chris Paul injury sucks. I don't think it's as little as he doesn't matter, because he matters a lot, but they'll run Point Booker, and they'll have KD. And hopefully Monty Williams figures it out and plays the guy he acquired for a reason, and his name is Terrence Ross. That's Cyro's boy. 15-point per game scorer, 40% three-point shooter, and also a guy named TJ Warren. Play at least one of them.
Jackson, I gotta admit, I don't know why. Terrence Ross, he looked really good on the Orlando Magic, or at least for an Orlando Magic player, he looked good. But I'll admit, I'm going to go back to your logic. You said it all recently here.
Or the buyout, sorry.
Yeah, with the buyout, there's a reason why these guys got bought out. Mm-hmm. All right. And I'll admit it's not because they were too good for their teams. And Terrence Ross might be the definition of someone who was over the hill, and he didn't look over the hill yet because he was playing on the Orlando Magic. But yeah, it's not pretty. It's not pretty. Yeah,
I don't trust the Magic organization. Sorry. There's players in there I do not trust. They will not.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. As an Orlando Magic fan, I don't know what to.
I know.
I have hope. I have hope right now.
A lot of the players in last year were betting on they bet on their statistics, like over under games. Like I know RJ Hampton because I knew a girl who's dating RJ.
Wait, what? They gamble?
They were betting or gambling. They know their lines and they were gambling on their lines, like the over unders, and they would specifically get unders to win bets. Last season, I don't know if it's this season, but
get on that. Adam.
That's some Chinese basketball. You guys know how the whole Chinese Basketball Association was rocked with this scandal, where
they blew out.
They fixed games. Eric Bledsoe and Michael Beasley are involved. And the Shanghai Sharks coach was banned for 5 years. They're on a 2-year ban. And supposedly Chinese soccer is incredibly rigged, but it's now starting to affect Chinese basketball. We're bettors. But I'm very, very, very interested to see the NBA and gambling. How does that work out? And damn, I want to investigate this now.
This is my friend's sister was dating RJ Hampton, and this was the information that was shared. So this isn't, I guess,
RJ Hampton knows he ain't gonna get that second contract, so he's trying to maximize his earnings.
I just think it's funny. They have to there's got to be so many NBA players that gamble.
Well, the way you got to do it, is you can't do it under your name. Yeah. You gotta get your a family friend or somebody else because they have to approve the account, and then you place the bet through them. But the big thing is, from my understanding in NFL, and I haven't read the NBA's gambling policy, but the NFL, you can gamble, just not on sports, and just not on the premises of team facility or team owned plane, bus, whatever. But if we're that's why in the NFL you're not supposed to play what's the stuff? Is it dice? Throwing dice or rolling dice? What's the card game? Is that what it's called? There's literally it's throwing dice, right? Yeah. It's throwing dice and stuff like that. You're not really supposed to do that and stuff like that but basically I know in the NFL, from what they sent out, you can bet on horse racing if you're at a horse race and stuff like that. As long as you're not betting on NFL or sports just sports, they don't even want you to bet because the other guys Jameson Williams for the Lions, he got suspended for betting on other sports, but into team facility. So I wonder what the NBA's policy on it. Because everyone's don't be Pete Rose.
Yeah, I think you should be able to get. No, never mind. Shut up, Coco.
I think you should be able to gamble. I don't think you should be able to sports gamble. I just don't think. I think maybe you should be able to bet on World Cup or international sporting events where there's no I don't even know. Maybe just not even sports. You can go to a casino and stuff, but yeah, I don't think you. I just think, yeah, what would it be? The respect the integrity of the sport.
Yeah, respect the integrity. Don't do this.
Yeah,
I see that the Cameron Payne was terrible in game 2. Cameron Payne's terrible in life and just basketball.
Cameron Payne's coming up. Cameron Payne's banged up. And just real quick on the Terrence Ross thing, it's just like Luka Doncic playing with Luka Doncic. If you don't, and this is a lot of the Suns, it's not all on Monty Williams, but he doesn't help their case. If I'm Terrence Ross and I played 15 to 20 minutes in the regular season, 20
Chris
games
Paul
with
played.
Phoenix. What?
Chris Paul played.
Yeah, he got hurt. Did I say Chris Paul?
Chris Paul got hurt in game 2.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah, at the end.
We just talked about this 2 days ago. We talked about this yesterday.
Oh, well, what was last night's game?
You saw the
Knicks-
Chris Paul injury. I
Knicks,
promise you saw the injury.
Heat. No
Dude, why
Jimmy.
did I refer to?
We talked about the injury.
Okay.
Oh, are you talking about Max Strus? Maybe Strus got hurt last night.
Okay, yeah, Max Strus. Yeah, Max Strus. Sorry.
Real quick on Terrence Ross. If I'm Terrence Ross and I played 15 to 20 minutes for 20 games with Phoenix and I'm thinking I have a role on this team, it's like Jay Crowder, whatever. And then I come into the playoffs and I see 4.5 minutes in our first. How many games has Phoenix played now? Like 9 games, 8 games. I don't have a role. I don't know what my role is. So it's like it's just a lot to ask. And Campaign hasn't played in a while. I don't think Phoenix can win the series, and I don't think it's because of Chris Paul. I think Denver just has this special aura to them right now. But with KD and Booker, you never know what can happen. I just think they play way too iso ball. I don't think Monty Williams has any idea what he's doing. I think Monty Williams will and should be fired at the end of the season. I think James Jones should be on watch, but because of KD, they'll probably keep both of them. But I need to see TJ Warren and Terrence Ross on Friday. They don't play till Friday, which is really weird.
I highly doubt Monty Williams is fired.
Yeah,
They don't have anything to show for having
They
Debo.
just gutted their roster.
Yeah, like what do you
The
expect
roster
them to
needs
do?
look so different.
Monty Williams is a good coach.
What do I expect them to do? Make
Like,
adjustments?
they're not gonna win ever. Like teams don't win championships every single year. They don't.
They
Make
didn't lose a game with Kevin Durant on their roster until the playoffs. They didn't lose a game. They did not lose a game.
What have we learned? Regular season matters.
I'm just saying, if I have Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, Chris Paul, and Kevin Durant, I get that the bench is important, but it's not. I have 4 good star players. I mean, you can argue Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton aren't stars, but
All right, let me give you an example right here. The Miami Heat. The reason Miami Heat just almost beat the New York Knicks. Like the Knicks are gonna act all day that they tied up the series, but the real story about this is the Knicks almost lost to the Miami Heat without Jimmy Butler. And you know
real
what this?
quick, why can Mike Budenholzer get fired and Monty Williams can't?
Mike Budenholzer.
And Mike Budenholzer has a championship against the Monty Williams-led Phoenix Suns.
Adjustments, and he's not getting fired because I think they're gonna give
Bud.
Bud's not getting fired. I think that
Okay.
his brother dying kind of
It's the
saved.
same. It's just the same narrative.
that fucked up
Monty
to
Williams
say?
doesn't get.
That his
Okay.
brother dying saved Mike Budenholzer's job.
I think Mike Buden. I think he'd still be there.
It's just not logical to fire him yet. If Giannis goes, I don't think it's. I just don't think if you're trying to keep Giannis, I don't think it. Unless he has an issue with Coach Bud.
But so the way I'm going to what are you going to say, Nick?
I get Jackson saying like Monty should be fired, but he won't. Like I
He
don't
should be
think.
accountable.
Or,
Hold these guys accountable. Phoenix almost lost to New Orleans last year, and they got
what are you gonna
embarrassed
hire?
by the Dallas.
What are you gonna Who are you gonna hire? Nick Nurse, I guess.
Yeah, it's
think
also
Nick Nurse
it's
would be
really
perfect.
hard to find good coaches. That's the other thing. And like the Suns were in like a perpetual loop before Monty Williams. You want stability. I think it's also
I don't think the Suns are that smart of an organization sometimes.
free.
No, I think they
basketball
are.
now. You can watch their games for free now.
Yeah.
So I think they're a very smart organization.
It's just
Within the ownership.
Let me
You
just say
lose-
this. The Miami Heat without Jimmy Butler, unlike the Suns, were able to almost beat the New York Knicks. Why? Because they have a bench. They have a bench. They have a bench that actually plays. I know the Suns have a bench, but
okay. I want to use a comparison really quickly. If Joe Mazzulla was a head coach last year, or even not, So what happened to the Boston Celtics last year? They lost in the NBA Finals. What happened to the Phoenix Suns 2 years ago? They lost in the NBA Finals, right? So let's say the Celtics lose this series against Philadelphia. It's a fail, right? They were the number 1 seed, and you lost in the second round of the playoffs, right? Just like Phoenix last year, right? So then let's say you bring back Joe Mazzulla, and next season you lose in the second round of the playoffs.
Yeah.
So you went from the NBA Finals to having the number 1 seed and losing in the second round to having another top
How do you
seed and
lose?
losing in the
How do
second
you
round again.
lose in the,
It doesn't matter.
in the second round? No, it does matter. If I'm going 7 games, I put everything. Maybe a guy of mine got hurt. All right, and I push that shit to 7 games, and I lose on a buzzer beater. I ain't too mad.
You're the number 2 seed. So unless you're losing to the number 1 seed, any loss is a failure, just like last year with the Phoenix Suns.
Well, the Celtics also.
I'm just saying that these coaches need to be held accountable.
You're also acting like.
Is it just?
I'm saying the Phoenix Suns went from losing the NBA
coach
Finals.
Only successful if they make the championship.
No, but they made the NBA championship. They win 64 basketball games without Kevin bleeping Durant, and then you lose in the second round of the playoffs.
Jackson, can I come
do
here?
The same thing this year,
Jackson. So is
with Kevin Durant.
So every year Greg Popovich hasn't made the playoffs. Is that a reason to fire him?
How many championships does Coach Popovich have, and how many does Monty Williams have?
Yeah, but when was the last time Greg Popovich won? So you're telling me Greg Popovich should be fired just because he hasn't had recent success?
I get that it's not black and white. I get that it's not championship based. I'm just confused as far as why Monty Williams is the best coach.
It's the culture. It's the culture. It's what
the Suns' culture blows balls.
Okay, but you forget 10 years ago, dude. The Suns' best season, okay, before Monty Williams came there, was an Eric Bledsoe, Gerald Green, Goran Dragic led fucking Suns team.
Yes.
All right.
You're right about their last playoff appearance was 2009, and their best player was Marty Stoudemire, Steve Nash, Jason.
Yeah, and for like 10 years before, for 10 years, okay, until Monty Williams and this whole Devin Booker, Chris Paul iteration came, their best season was that the year when they first signed Isaiah Thomas, Goran Dragic, and Eric Bledsoe. It was either that year or the year before, and then they traded Isaiah Thomas, and then it was like Gerald Green had a career year, Eric Bledsoe, Goran Dragic, I think Marcin Gortat was their center, and they like almost made the playoffs. All right.
Yeah, 2013, 2014, where they won 48 games, which was the first time they won over 40 games in the last 13 years.
Yep, that was the best. And that was the best year for the Suns, like for like forever. Yeah, for literally, but for the last decade, from like 2009 to like 2017, 2018. All right. And they didn't have a culture. They didn't have stability. So for them, it's the reason why these coaches don't get fired a lot. When people say it's a lot harder to install culture and things like that. But I do want to go over to Miami and talk about this.
One quick question for you. Why can't the same be applied to Joe Mazzulla as it can be for Monty Williams?
Joe Mazzulla, go Nick?
Was a first-year head coach.
Yeah, Mazzulla's a first-year head coach.
And the situation he walked into
was the NBA Finals.
No.
So how about if Ime Udoka was still the head coach?
He took over for a coach who was suspended.
Yeah.
He was an interim coach.
We're talking about firing him. So then my rebuttal is if Ime Udoka was still the head coach of the Boston Celtics, you lose. It took Philadelphia this season, right? And then you do the same thing next season. Let's say you lose to the Miami Heat in the second round of the playoffs. Ime Udoka, should he still be the head coach or should be fired after going from the NBA Finals to being the second seed in the Eastern Conference, losing in the semis, and the same thing the previous year? You go from the NBA Finals to 2 straight second round losses as one of the top 4 teams in the
He would still be the same coach because at that point you would blame the roster and you'd say the roster needs to be retooled.
Okay, so
I don't think the coaches have that as much as I think NBA coaches
you fire
don't control what's going on in the court. They don't always control. So
you fire a coach for 2 things. Either he lost the locker room, which means the culture's gone, or B, 3 reasons. B, you're going to do a rebuild, or C, what is it called? Irreconcilable. It's like what people can say, like when they're divorcing, where it's like a mutual divorce that they irreconcilable.
Yeah. Yeah,
Unrec-
it's not reconcilable. Whatever
reconcilable.
It's not. Yeah,
Like that word. Differences. I can't even say it. It's like
I don't know how
mutual.
to say it either.
Yeah, reconcilable.
Unreconcilable.
It's IR.
Irreconcilable. It's got to be irreconcilable.
Irreconcilable differences. That like those are three reasons you usually fire a coach. Nick Nurse, he was fired because he lost the locker room.
All right, he lost the locker room.
That's what Raptors fans have told me. He lost
expectations, but then you'll have Scotty Barnes say that's not true.
Oh, Scotty Barnes came out and said that wasn't true.
You'll have idiots like Jake Fisher come out and say OG along with several Raptors players are unhappy with their roles, and then you'll have Scotty Barnes see the report on Twitch the next day and be like, that is not the case, and it's not even close. I think Nick Nurse was fired because he won a championship a couple of years ago and hasn't done anything. They have not gotten better since then. So the expectations are going to rise as your team does better results. But I get it. They got a new owner in town. You just traded for Kevin Durant, and that's like the scapegoat.
Not it said that's a 5-year plan. I do want
exactly, because there's a new owner in town, and you just got KD.
I want to talk about this Miami Heat Suns game. Though, you fucking asshole.
Heat Knicks.
Heat Knicks. You got the fucking Suns in my mind. That now all I can fucking say is the Suns. I mean, I fucking shit out Suns all day. But again, I just want to hammer home. Knicks fans are going crazy over this. Knicks, you almost lost to them.
Sorry.
Go. If the refs were what?
If the refs were not assholes, that ball touched the rim. So touched the rim.
Yeah, people are losing their mind over that. I don't think it had
a lot of there were a lot of pro
right there
calls in that fourth quarter.
That's what happens when you're home.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's tough because Gabe Vincent was right there on that play for a layup. So, yeah, it could be, Knicks. So the Heat have 2 points, and you could say the final score, they won by 6. But, obviously, if Gabe Vincent makes the layup, it would change.
Like a 2-point game. Yeah, completely.
Yeah.
But the thing is like, and the other thing is people don't realize this probably just made the Heat even more mad. Eric Spoelstra and Jimmy Butler in the team bus or locker room after there, basically probably yelled at them. They're like, they're scared. All right. Because you know what? Even though they lost, you know what the Heat learned right here? Even without Jimmy, they're just as good. They can beat this team. This team is weak. All right. That's what the Heat had learned. It's not just Jimmy. It's them. They can win this, not just because of Jimmy. They can win this because of themselves. And I think that's the most impressive thing. And I think, if anything, this loss is probably going to galvanize the Heat to come out even more freaking pissed off and be like, you guys don't think we can do this. And I
get that it's Jimmy. But say the same thing with Julius Randle in game 1. And I know they're different players. I know they're completely different players, and it's a completely different impact. But Julius Randle missed game 1, comes back in this game. So you can use the same contrary argument saying, oh, they barely won, and they had a healthy Julius Randle. I don't think the Knicks lose this series, even with Jimmy Butler. But I would love to see – in fact, if I had to root for a team, I'd choose the Miami Heat. I'd choose the G stands for Gits. But I think with the way – Jalen Brunson is a freaking star player. Like, he's a star player. He's the best player on the New York Knicks. Julius Randle had a solid comeback game yesterday. And you also have R.J. Barrett's doing good. So
R.J. Barrett was ranked the 25th best player in the playoffs so far out of 40.
But he's doing, he's had a good first 2 games against Miami Heat. So it's just, I get the logic fully. And, Gabe Vincent, Max Strus, Bam Adebayo, I get it. I definitely get it. I would have to root for the Miami Heat, but I don't think the Knicks lose, man. I really don't.
If go Nick.
No, I felt like the Knicks. I felt like the Knicks looked not as good as the Heat with Jimmy. Like I think Jimmy Butler, X factor, number 1, X factor. And the Heat showed a lot. Julius Randle was on the court, and the Heat could have won this game, and they might have won this game. With Jimmy Butler on the court, I think for sure they win this game.
Easily.
I
think they rested Jimmy. Jimmy was warming up. He was moving around. They said, Jimmy, we're going to win this series. We're going home.
They play till Saturday.
And that's the thing. And the thing is they accomplished the mission. They won one game in New York. That was the mission. They didn't have to win both games. They needed one game. Because guess what? Miami, so far this playoffs, Miami typically isn't like a huge, hostile environment. But for some reason, this playoff series, Miami has been insanely loud. All right. And they're going back-to-back games in Miami. Jimmy Butler's, what is it? Kingdom of Solitude? Fortress of Solitude. All right. And I'm just saying, if the Heat went back-to-back at home, that's a 3-1. Yeah, it's
ball. The Knicks, from the Knicks standpoint, all they got to do now is get one at.
Yeah, 100%. Knicks have to get one, and what the Knicks got to do is to continue to play as a team, win the rebound battle, and to hustle. But I do want to say Gabe Vincent earning himself a fucking contract. Gabe Vincent's about to get paid by someone.
I think it'll be Miami, as we saw with Duncan Robinson. They'll pay their players. You prove your worth, they'll pay you. I think he fits Miami culture perfectly.
Yeah, at the same time, I think they kind of like are pissed at themselves. The other thing is, do you trade Tyler Hero after this season if you do make it far into the playoffs?
No, Tyler Hero is a big deal, man.
Because I saw someone write an article saying that the Heat without Tyler Hero, not on the Heat, like it was basically the article was basically saying, wow, we're finding out that Tyler Hero isn't really that important to the Heat or something like that.
You're going to need him in the regular season when Jimmy doesn't want to play.
True. The Heat were last year, they were the number 1 seed. They're a good team that just was inconsistent all year. And the Knicks dominated the rebounds yesterday. That's something to keep an eye on.
Embiid is on track to play tonight.
Cool.
Shams Charania just tweeted.
Cool.
Breaking.
I'm back. I really don't care about Embiid. Like, I go to the University of Kansas. I don't know why, but Embiid, just crybaby. That's what I see him as. I see him as, like, just someone who's butthurt. He's going to be the type of guy, like, not like Charles Barkley, but similar like Charles Barkley. But, like, watch him, like, if he retires with, like, no rings. He's just going to be the guy, that, like, old vet who just complains that, like, he was robbed of all his titles.
I was going to say, did Embiid play? Like, I know he was at Kansas, but wasn't he injured that year?
He played.
Or he played? Okay.
I'm pretty sure he got hurt during the tournament.
Okay.
Or right before the tournament, because we were favorites to win the tournament because it was Wiggins and Embiid, and then Embiid got hurt, and then we didn't go on I think we were like a second round exit.
Yeah. Couldn't play for the Big 12.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure like the regular season Embiid and Wiggins were like the best duo. And then Embiid broke his foot again, I think, that year, because he was at Kansas 2 years, I think, because he sat out freshman year, red shirt, I'm pretty sure. And it was also, I'm pretty sure the reason he sat out also was he barely spoke English.
I don't remember. He was only 11 points, 8 rebounds, and 2.5 blocks. Man, it's good.
One year.
I think he missed what was it? He missed the first 2 years in Philly.
Yeah, because so he had a stress fracture in his back in March 2014, and then
I've had that.
And then he ended up having to undergo foot surgery after being drafted. But no, his stats in college were like low key insane. Not insane. Low key, like 11 points, 2.6 blocks, 1.5 assists, 8 rebounds, 23 minutes a night. He was dominant, but it wasn't
crazy. That was a big trust the process thing. There's no Embiid for a couple of years. It's like, what's he even going to be like? Celtics in 5, yeah.
Well, there was a good question. I was like, is it going to be Nerlens Noel? Is it going to be Jahlil Okafor?
What a Duke stud.
That process almost did not work out when you actually think about it.
I bring it up all the time. They got the first round pick once. They technically had it twice.
And Simmons.
They traded for Markelle Fultz. They didn't get.
But they could have Tatum.
They could have had
Fultz and MCW Rookie of the Year. Those didn't pan out. Okafor didn't pan out.
Fultz has proved me wrong recently.
Do you remember Zaire Smith?
on.
Yeah, their lottery pick that they like cut after.
Wow. What's he up to these days?
I don't know. They gave up on him like 3 months into his rookie deal.
Jeez.
I have no idea why, but Zaire Smith was like given up very quickly. Let me pull this up. I'm like
Cyro Smith. Yeah.
Dude, this man was like out of the league by year 2. I don't know why or how. Well, let me pull up his.
Yeah, they should have kept Jimmy Buckets.
Dude, yeah, Zaire Smith's a free agent. This man didn't even get a chance to go to China. He's not even playing basketball anymore.
He works in accounting.
I don't know. His personal life, all it says is he has a peanut allergy, but can have tree nuts.
Well,
All right, so he has only in 2 seasons he played 13 NBA games for a total of 11 minutes.
God.
Yeah. Supposedly, yeah, he had like a stress fracture, and then he had an allergic reaction actually because he ingested sesame seeds, complicating his recovery, and then he lost weight and had to rework his shot. Damn, dude, this guy sucks for him.
Shafted.
All right. You know what time it is, boys?
It's time to guess a Poto player.
It is.
It's gonna be
Tyrese Maxey?
I don't think he's that big of a head.
I think I can say with certain. I don't know who this person is.
Is it Dylan Brooks or is that hair too thin?
I think it's too long.
It's an East Coast player.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh. Damn it.
It's not a guard.
It's southeast.
No,
Yeah,
I know.
Southeast or central.
Throw Miles Turner in there.
This guy's got to be Central Division.
Is that Andre?
There's no way.
He's
It's got to
down
be a
now.
Piston. There's no. It's a Bull.
Mhm.
There's no way. There's a Bull. That's a Bull.
Is it? It's not Patrick Williams, is it?
Maybe no. He doesn't have long hair, but we'll
No.
just do it to try a Bulls player.
Yeah, true.
So it's a Piston or
Cap,
or Bucks.
Oh, I forgot about the Bucks.
I have no idea. It's a nobody. It's got to be a nobody. I've never seen this person in my life. I can't think of any Pistons player with that hair.
It's hard to even know the Pistons roster at this point. Beef stew? Oh, nice. Forgot
Dude.
Livers had dreads.
I didn't know he
Those
had dreads. Dude, honestly, you want to know why I was typing Isaiah Livers? Just to try out a Pistons player. And I was like, the only 6'7" Pistons player I knew was Isaiah Livers. But Isaiah Livers has a fro, I thought.
He's cut it. Or not cut it. Change it.
All right.
Any Bulls facts?
No Bulls fact.
Let's go over real quick, see if there's any rumors.
Oh,
Yeah, we saw this. Joel Embiid's on track to play game 2.
buy some K-State merch, bro.
Don't you agree K-State literally stole the Dallas Cowboys
Shut up,
uniforms?
Deuce.
I like the purple. Purple's good though.
Yeah. It's a dark purple.
They're light
Nothing-
purple.
It's like a violet. It's more of a violet.
Oh, the Dylan Brooks was just brutal. I was talking about it yesterday, Jackson. Like the Memphis Grizzlies coming out and saying under no circumstances we are signing Dylan Brooks next year is just
Oh, yeah. We talked on the pod, right?
Yeah, well, they
Yeah.
supposedly it was a mutual decision. Also,
Yeah, Brooks
Dylan
doesn't-
Brooks
He says he
rejected a
hasn't won the
contract.
bag.
Yeah, and he also said they made multiple contract extension offers early in the season. And they were rejected.
It's not a good headline for him from a
Some team will want him.
yeah.
Had to say it, man.
So the NBA will
Philadelphia.
soon begin negotiating a new deal for their media rights. Over the last several years, the NBA has partnered with ESPN/ABC and Turner to broadcast their games. An attempt to create a third package of rights for Fox Sports was blocked by ESPN and Turner as they wanted to keep the rights themselves. That's expected to change in the series of negotiations. The changes likely to come via a streaming package. While ESPN and Turner could remain involved as expected, the NBA will spin off an additional package of games to a leading streaming service. Amazon or Apple are both assumed to have interest in adding the NBA to their services. Amazon already streams NFL games and has a partnership with the Yankees, and Apple is streaming select MLB games on Fridays and has the full rights to the MLS. This comes from Mike Verkanoff of The Athletic.
It's going streaming, and it's going to be
Just
Meta.
get League Pass. Meta.
It's gonna
Meta.
be in the metaverse. You can only watch games in the metaverse. Have to get Oculus.
The meta died, dude. Let's spend $5 billion to make a Wii graphics video game console that you have to wear on your head.
I guarantee you the metaverse succeeds.
Okay, this is the end of the pod. Jackson has been kicked off. Welcome back, Jackson.
Zuck doesn't fail.
We just can't.
It's true. I don't want the metaverse. You know how many lonely people there are out there?
You're the type of guy who will buy like the VR master like sex machine so you can have sex with random. No, this is so like you'll meet a woman. Yeah, like it's not the scroll guard, but it'll be like the woman buys like a buzzer, like a vibrator she puts in her vag, and then the guy gets like the Auto Blow 3000 that you put over your cock, and you guys both just press a button, and it makes you act like you're having sex in the metaverse, but it's like these machines. Like the one thing is just like vibrating on your dick while the other one's vibrating inside her, and then you guys just both please.
That'll be here in 2035.
Yeah.
And people are gonna buy it. Not me, but people are gonna buy it.
When like robot sex becomes a thing, holy cow.
Dude, you see there's a clip of I think it's like a VR convention. This dude's like backshotting this robot with the glasses on, and the clip, and he's like getting into it. He's doing the stroke, he's hitting the ass, and then it ends, and you can see his thumb going for the button of the cuts out.
Oh, dude. Like...
Yeah. So yeah, I think the meta will be pretty successful if there's people like that. You want right for the butt, right insert the thumb, and then it clicks off.
All right, we're done. I hope you guys did enjoy today's episode. You guys got anything else to say? Be a friend, tell a friend if you guys did enjoy it. If you didn't, forget it ever happened.
For sure. Let's go Celtics.
Go Indians.
Ciao.